This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
It's the Dirty Laundry Game-Worn Hockey Podcast.
We're old school, right? We wash our own dirty laundry.
The name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back.
I refuse to be judged by a grown man wearing a hockey jersey.
Game on!
Game on!
We are back. Another episode of the Dirty Laundry Game-Worn Hockey Podcast, episode number 61. Wade Hampton, Paul Rank, and joining us tonight, George Arbocus, coming off. He just woke up about 30 minutes ago, coming off the South Jersey Expo. I can't wait to hear about that, but I know I am having my old-fashioned this week with Heaven Hill bottled in bond, which is phenomenal. George, what are you drinking?
So actually, I'm drinking a single barrel that a friend of mine has a distillery in New Jersey that made a single barrel for the expo.
Even better.
So he only bottled 26 bottles. We sold them for to go to the Philadelphia Flyer Warriors, the veterans team that we sponsor. So it's a great bottle. It's a 7-year-old rye. And that was aged another year in an orange blossom honey cask.
Oh, wow. I bet that picked up good flavor.
Amazing flavor. So this is the bottle, actually. We called it the Warrior Share. He did the Expo logo on it. South Jersey Expo 2024. So still a couple bottles available. I know you're a fan, so maybe you'll...
I will be talking to you after the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's an amazing bottle, and he does great work. It's Francis James whiskey, and a lot of bourbon drinkers that collect game-worn jerseys.
Funny how that seems to go hand in hand a little bit. We have high-level taste in general.
Exactly.
For the St. Louis Expo, we're going to do some special edition Dr. Peppers then for that one.
Yeah, the way to coordinate that, right?
Yeah. This is 23 flavors combined in one bottle of deliciousness. And it's something that I really, really look forward to. And I'm hoping for a sponsorship. So if anybody knows anybody Dr. Pepper, I might be your guy.
That's like a 45-day age statement on it, right?
Yeah. That was at Walmart for about a week and a half, I think, off the truck. And then I let him sit in the garage for probably a week or so before I get to him. And then, then I just enjoy the flavor.
Good.
I don't knock that stuff because when I need a sugar rush caffeine kick, I always go for Dr. Pepper. It does it better than anything else out there. So I'm not knocking the fact that you drink that, Wade, and it's one of my.
It's funny. I always love your guys. I love what you guys do with the bourbons and the whiskeys and stuff. I don't really drink much, so I guess soda is my vice.
Hey, no, all good. Paul, have you got anything or just water because it's so damn hot out there?
Just water because it's so damn hot out here.
Hey, and the fancy shark fin glass. Look at you.
Oh, yes.
So, George, just a minute. We'll get to all the fun stuff, stories of the expo and how that went. A couple other things going on around. We do have some other expos coming up. Paul, you've got some dates, first of all.
Yeah, a couple new announcements. They all come out in the last day or two. First off, we can finally announce the San Jose show. That is going to be on February 1st at Calder's. We were originally going to do it the week before, and the Barracuda and all that, they basically confirmed it. And then they realized, oh, wait, we have a 2:00 game that day, the Barracuda. So, and since the bar is right next to the rink, they actually utilized the bar during the game. So we had to move it to February 1st. That'll be here in San Jose at Calder's at Sharks Ice. Friday night, there's a Barracuda game, and then Saturday night, after the expo, there's the Pink in the Rink Barracuda game. Both games against the Silver Knights. We have at least one suite for the February 1st date. We might have one for the night before. We can get additional one for the expo. So we're going to start promoting that now, and hopefully we can get some more people to head on out to San Jose for this one. And in addition to the San Jose one, Michael Ruland has finally settled on March 1st for the Southern Cal one. We do need to make sure there's enough tables reserved for that because, as with other expos, they jacked up the price of the room on them. I think they basically doubled that one. So I think they're looking at selling 25 tables before the end of October, and they're already at 12 or 13. So I'd like to think we can hit that number, and Michael and can relax and have a great show there again. I'm planning on going down to that one. I'm pretty sure Mitch will be heading to that one also. It's a great show. They do it on there. And then the other big announcement for Expos is August 29th and 30th in Dusseldorf. This is Stefan's second World Game Worn Expo. And the one 2 years ago, I guess it was a little bit over a year ago now, was absolutely amazing. It's just an incredible expo. 2 days at the expo. First day was a lot of deals last year. Second day, it was just amazing. People walked in and lots more trades happened because everyone was thinking about it overnight. And Dusseldorf's a great city. It should be a lot of fun. More details on that will be coming out soon. I know George has a tentative date for next year on September 27th, and hopefully he'll confirm that soon. And then the other one to mention, coming up this weekend, well, I guess I should mention two. Coming up this weekend is the Minnesota one in St. Paul. That's at Tom Reed's pub. Always a good show. I've not been there, but heard great things about it. And then the St. Louis one, if you want to say anything more about that, Wade.
Just excited to have everybody. I think the show's come together pretty well. We're going to have 30 plus tables as normal, and a couple autograph guests and some local blues guys, Mike Zook on Saturday and Dwight Schofield on Sunday. And just looking forward to seeing everybody. It's actually been fun. I've been reached out to by some people who collect. Obviously, we do baseball stuff there, and kind of open it to everything. And I had a couple of guys that do football stuff. They're going to come check it out. The one thing I think that I keep, mentioning, and I know that at George's show, there's people with some baseball and football and stuff is, I like to think that, we're all collectors of the same feather, if that makes any sense, and it's cool to see them expanding into the game used hockey events, because those guys have the same problem we all have had in not having events to do this. And I talked to a guy today, and that was the one thing I mentioned was, you go to a regular show and you might be lucky to find just a handful of jerseys or bats or sticks or whatever. So happy to host anybody who likes the game used stuff, no matter what team or brand it is.
And that's October 19th and 20th. So in 2 weeks, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Coming up quickly.
Fast.
Yeah.
And we're going to be hosting Doc. So we're going to do some podcast stuff. That's going to be really fun.
There'll be a lot of stuff recorded. It'll be a lot of fun over because I'll be in there coming in Friday. I know some other people are do some things Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So we'll have multiple podcasts, a lot of audio. I think it'll be a ton of fun. I cannot wait. Going around the sales places for stuff going on. You got NHL auctions. We talked about it last show. Set 2 Sabres, including the alternates, they end October the 6th. Some of the regular ones, the prices are still extremely low. So if you just need one, a final year of Adidas, stuff like that, you can pick those up. My Grade, the only auctions they have right now are 16-17 Philadelphia Flyers nameplates. They end on October the 17th. Heritage Auctions, which will be at the St. Louis Expo also, has some different things there. They have a 95-96 Bobby Carpenter Devils jersey. You have a 2016 Frederick Anderson game-worn Denmark national team jersey. With 2 days to go, it's only $375. 74-75 Randy Legg WHA Michigan Stags jersey. Other highlights in here: Pavel Bure 2000 Stars of Russia jersey, Larry Robinson World All-Star Team jersey from 2000 in here. Some of those open up the next day or so. Being a Blues player now, 2018 Torrey Krug game-worn Bruins jersey that's photo matched to the game on 11/29 versus the Islanders. Those all open up. Some open up tomorrow. Others open up not until November, but that's just what Heritage has out there. That's pretty much all I found as far as sales and things like that going on. I did touch on a little bit. Oh, one more equipment related thing before we get into some jerseys. Chicago Blackhawks are having what they call an authentic garage sale tomorrow, before the Hawks game up in Chicago. Sean Sullivan did reach out. He's going, hopes to get pictures, and will at least send me a report of what shows up there. He has no inkling of will there be gamers. Nobody really knows, and the Blackhawks, imagine that, haven't been clear. So we will have a report of that for next week's show. Speaking of next week, Scott Lynn, who is the host of My Gray's podcast, Tales from the Warehouse, which I was on a couple episodes ago, going to join us, talk about how his collection, what he's collected in that. So he'll be joining us next week. Got that locked in for sure. Rangers jerseys. I talked about this on last show. We talked about them a little bit, that Pro Stock Hockey had received a bunch from them, put them up. They had pictures of just examples of the navy and the white. You didn't know who you were getting. A lot of them, at least in the pictures, showed a not game worn tag in the bottom. I received a blue one last Friday, and it turned out to be again a preseason guy. I don't know exactly what year that was worn. The name on that one was, and I should have had that pulled up in front of me, is Rydal, Rydahl, number 15. Sharp looking jersey in navy. And then I received a white one today. It took a little bit of work to track down who it was, because it had a not game worn stamp in the middle of the hem. To the right of it, it had a New York Rangers preseason stat stamp that was dated September 20th to the 28th, 2019. But 90 wasn't worn by this person then. We don't know if it was worn, and Paul, you may remember the name of who we thought it might belong to from that.
Luke Martin.
Or no, the guy that was wearing 90 I don't have it pulled up in front of me.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that right now.
But there was an A patch on it that's been removed. You can see the outlining and some of the coloring of that. But yes, we did. Thank you to the people in the New York Rangers Game Worn group, because I couldn't track down stuff from that time frame. But yeah, Luke Martin, who actually was in training camp last year, ECHL guy in that, but was up. So it was weird to find and again, recycling probably, a 2019 preseason set stamp, and it was worn in this past year. Has some light wear on the arms, nothing too serious. Some of the other ones that were received.
Justin?
Yeah.
Jason, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Name is Kankov. I can never pronounce that name. Namestnikov.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll screw that one up too. I'm not even going to attempt it.
Okay. I thought for sure you could do it. So
Screw that up worse than my last name.
Hey, he got that right, I thought.
No, he didn't.
How did I screw? Okay, correct me. We got to stop right now. How did I screw that up?
It's Arbocus.
Okay. See, I'm from the Midwest. I would read it as Arbocus.
Everybody mispronounces it wrong. It's all good.
And you've seen my last name. You can only imagine how mine gets screwed up too. So we're all in this group. So thank you for correcting that. I appreciate it. But no, going through some of these other ones was a kind of mix of jerseys. You did even have, of course, now I'm going to blank on it because I can't find who it was. Even a Yaroslav Halak did show up in there from one of the goalie buys.
Wow.
So game issued, it didn't find any wear to it, but there were some names in there, and they were $159 for non-prime green and $169 for prime green. And then you can still buy blanks from them right now, but they want $229 for blanks. So good luck. I mean, congratulations for the people that got them. I know some people have moved them on already. Like I said, I bought them for the Bloomington Bison, who are affiliated with the Rangers. And again, thank you for the research help for the people in the Rangers group, because I don't know that team. All right. So the big discussion of the evening with George is you just wrapped up the expo. How long did it take you to recover from that, first of all?
I'll let you know when it happens.
So kind of give us a rundown of, first of all, I guess, when did you start this expo? How long has it been going on?
So this is the fourth. Started actually during COVID. kind of when everything started hitting with COVID, everything shut down. So Migrate canceled, Nova canceled, all the other expos canceled, and we're starting to get through it. And obviously we all kept speaking to each other through Messenger or whatever way. And it just got to a point where I was getting a little like I had to do something. So things started clearing up a little bit. Started talking to a bunch of people. Started reaching out and said, "Hey, why don't we start getting together?" And some people were ready, some people weren't. And I proposed maybe we'll do an expo in South Jersey. I know Migrate does it in central North Jersey, and Nova's in Northern Virginia. But so let's see if we can get something together. So I put it out there and got really amazing responses. I was actually shocked with the responses I got. So I did the first one. Did 44 tables the first expo. Sold it out. It was amazing. The response I had, the amount of people we had walking through was pretty good for the first time. Had most people that knew about the hobby come through. Not too many outside people came through, but kind of snowballed from there. Second one, really promoted it. Got up to 48 tables, which is the max for the room, which I've kept since then, and just kept growing and growing since then. The amount of traffic we have through has increased each year as well. It's been really, it's just the growth is amazing. We have a lot of support from the collectors that have been coming out. Had probably out of the 48 tables, probably 40 of them have been the same ones for all 4 years.
Wow.
Really good commitment from the collecting group. So it's been really good. It's made my job easy.
Definitely helps. Yeah, when you can post a date, because you said you'd posted the tentative ones that are already having people reach out pretty much a year out, which is great because it gets people planning early. And so you did the fourth year this year. Who was your because you brought in a person again, didn't you? Similar to what Wade does as well. Who was it for this year?
So this year we were struggling a little bit to try to find someone because everybody reached out to was either previously booked or had some other kind of commitment. The variance with my expo is that we're not paying anybody to come and sign autographs. So, we're strictly for charity. All the proceeds go to Philadelphia Flyer Warriors Disabled Veterans Team. So I'm always looking for someone, primarily Flyers type alumni, that can come out, spend an hour or two just signing autographs, etc. So this year I reached out to a few different people, and Frank the Animal Bialois, who is a legendary AHL fighter, he agreed to come out. He was phenomenal. I mean, he just if we had 1,000 people in line, he still might be only through 100, as much as he talked to everybody. He was so involved with everyone. He was telling stories. He's actually having a book coming out, which is, we were talking about the book, and he said, some of the people that put out books, they're all pretty much PG. He's like, mine's at least XXX. Some of the stories he was telling were really it's going to be a really good read. But he spent a lot of time with each person that came up to get an autograph. We had pictures that Derek Whitwer printed out for us. He donated them. We were just selling them for $5 a piece, 8x10s. All the money went directly to the Warriors. So people were buying them. bringing their own stuff in, and he would sign anything that he had. One of the collectors actually had a event-worn jersey that he wasn't sure if he ever wore it, so he brought it over to him. And Frank's like, "Oh yeah, I remember that. That was blah blah blah." He's like, "I think I have a picture of me wearing that." So he got his phone out and started going through pictures, and he showed the collector. It's like, "Yeah, see, I wore this whatever that date was," and it was really a good interaction with him.
That's a lot of fun right there, especially if the collector was unsure if it was actually worn or not.
Yeah, and Frank is he's still an animal. I mean, he's still huge. I mean, he's just a huge guy, but really super pleasant. He's signed every little bit that anybody brought in. Just a pleasure. He was in a rush because he was driving up to the Poconos, but he's like, "You need me to stay as long as people are still coming up to the table." He's like, "I'll stay," and that's the way it's been the whole expo, the past 4 years. Whoever we've had is always like just devoted their time. They know it's going to a charity, so it's just a different incentive to like stay and interact with the people that are coming in.
Now, who are some of the other ones you've had in the past years?
So we've had Todd Fedoric, who played for the Flyers, played for the Ducks. Chris Terrian. We've had Brad Marsh was there the first year. We have a couple interesting names coming up that I'm not going to mention, but possible Hall of Famer coming up next year. So we keep trying to, we're working with the Flyers Warriors, who have some connections internally in the organization. With the Flyers alumni, their coach is Brad Marsh, so he has some connections as well. It's been a really good partnership with them.
And I know the St. Louis has a strong Warriors program as well, and it's awesome to see how many NHL teams or NHL alumni have started attaching themselves with those different Warrior teams. And God, and Wade and I met one of the newer Warrior players at the Blues equipment sale last year, and or actually just this past summer. I take that back. And how many different levels of Warrior teams St. Louis has, and it's awesome to see this across the country, and it's giving those guys an outlet. I know they honored you a little bit and gave you a jersey this weekend.
Yeah, it's funny because last year I was blown away because no one gets the jersey. They don't sell them unless you actually are a veteran and you play for the team. You can't get a jersey. So last year they presented me with my own jersey, personalized, my name on the back, the number 8. I don't know what that was for. I don't know. It's some guy named Recky, I think, wore number 8. But this year I was really shocked because they gave me the other version of. So they have two. They have a black and they have a tan version that they have. So they gave me the other version, and they gave me the new challenge coin that they have as well. So that was like really, it's an honor. It's an honor. I'm not a veteran. My father was a veteran, but just to whatever I can do to support the veterans. Flyers Warriors, it's just a great group of guys and girls. They really have come out. They help at the expo. They sell raffle tickets. They're there all day. They're selling their own T-shirts. They have a yearly raffle they have for season tickets that they sell. They're really appreciative of what I do, and they actually told me that this is like their second biggest fundraiser. So, whatever I can do to help them, they've helped us enough. So we need to give back to them.
Hey, that's awesome, especially to be able to help them that much and be one of the bigger fundraisers for that. So you're 4 years in, you've already got your date locked in or possible date locked in for the 5th. What in these 4 years, what's been your favorite memory so far?
Well, it's just been, besides getting the jersey from the Warriors, It's just the interaction with all the different collectors. Each year has been someone different that has like surprised me. One of the years we had Rob Serra, who came in, and it was the first time he displayed his collection. Now, Rob has an amazing Rangers collection. Rob was in the middle of 9/11. He's a really amazing person. His brother's Joe Serra, who had Serra Authentics. They're really great collectors. Just to have him display, he brought down some stuff from FDNY, donated some door prizes for the expo. He's been a big supporter. He came this expo as well, just to walking through. Some of the just amazing collectors. I mean, to have Milt Byron show up. Milt's been there every year. He's been displaying. He's at a table past 3 years. And it's not, people just think because of the area, it's all going to be all Flyers. The Flyers collectors are actually at a minority at the expo. We have 4 of the biggest Devils collectors. AJ Habb with his Red Wings, Mike Hessick with his Red Wings. We Francis Rady with his Bruins, and Dan James. All these collectors have their own specific team that they collect, and it's not just Philadelphia related. It's all across every team. Every team's represented. It's just an amazing atmosphere to walk into.
Craziest jersey that you've seen walk through the door or show up on somebody's table?
I mean, that's like really, that's a hard thing to ask.
It's got to be a recce.
Yeah, maybe close. Well, actually, this past expo, ironically, it's probably Pete Rose jersey was there at the expo. Pete Rose, I think it was, I could be wrong, 80-81 maybe. Phillies zip up, old style P. That was just an amazing jersey. There's some crazy jerseys that have really came up, and just opening up to other sports, having baseball and some football jerseys, actually some basketball jerseys this year Dave Randolph brought in. It just opens it up for everybody. Some of the people that came through, some of the walkthrough people said, this is amazing that you have other sports. Derek Whitwer had all baseball jerseys from 20s, 30s, 40s, just an amazing collection. It just opens up the sport for everybody, not only hockey fans.
And that's, Wade was talking about that earlier as well. Is with his expo, we've had Cardinals collectors. I think you said some football ones maybe here this time around, Wade. And it's jersey from a different sport, but the idea is the same. And we as primarily hockey collectors, and I know some guys do multiple sports, we get to go look at the baseball jerseys or the football or the basketball and compare, okay, we look at these things on ours. What do we have to look at on those for photo matching or authentication or different things like that? Because basketball, you're not really finding wear like you can find in even baseball and football like hockey. But it's neat to interact with those people. And I know in past St. Louis expos, I've talked to the Cardinals collectors just to learn how it works there. I didn't know that you can buy the balls later in the game from the early part of that game, or you can buy the bases and all that kind of stuff. I assumed it was just bats and jerseys, but it's interesting to see how those other hobbies work, and even just to share the stories, because we're all in it for the same purpose. Is we're collecting either a team, a player, whatever it is. Doesn't matter the sport.
And baseball's a little the baseball, which I just found out this expo, that it's a little different because is some restoration processes that go on with baseball jerseys that don't go on with hockey. So they actually do restore the jersey to a point, which I found out, which is we don't do in hockey jerseys.
That's for like older wool jerseys, or is that?
Yeah,
for
it's really strange to what they do. And I'm not going to elaborate on it because I don't know the intricacies of it. But we were talking about it that they do, reattach numbers or if there's a nameplate missing, they put a nameplate on it. It's just part of the normal process of the collection. So that's different than what we do. We don't want something that's altered at all. Going through like talking about the Nordiques jerseys that everybody's been talking about. What do you do? Do you like reheat press them to try to salvage them? We don't want to do that. But in baseball, it's kind of like okay.
Interesting. But it's a thing that you, unless you talk to those people, you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's got to be fun, and I'm assuming everybody coming is excited to hang out and catch up and just share stories of the hobby or things they've seen or whatnot.
Yeah, and it's just the whole expo thing is like if you've never been to an expo, you have to go, no matter where it is. They're going to have the same interactions. You meet new collectors. You see all these jerseys that are amazing, and you're not looking to go in and see a Crosby jersey or an Ovechkin or a Hal. You're looking at the jerseys that's showing all this amazing wear or a story. Some of I've been to expos where there's $1 million jersey, but the most intriguing thing is this one jersey from an AHL player that has a rip down the one side, photo match to a punch that he took, whatever. That's the thing with our hobby that is the most amazing thing. That is what we want to see. The $1 million jerseys, they're great, but that's not what people walking through want to see. Like at the Migrate Expo, for example, the Hall of Fame was there, so they have old wools, they have all kinds of stuff there. And the one guy from the Hall of Fame came over to my table, and I had all Recce's displayed, and I had a Recce equipment bag from the Westminster Bruins that he played with. He's like, if that disappears, you don't know where it went. I'm like, okay, I got it. He's like, that's like the most amazing thing here. I said, I appreciate that. It's literally, I paid $250 for it, but it's like a unique thing. When there's like $1 million jersey, $1 million Gretzky jersey sitting like 10 feet away. So that's the unique thing.
Gotta make you feel good too, especially coming from a guy running the Hall of Fame who lays his hands on amazing pieces every day. And it's an oddball hockey bag from an excellent player, but of a minor league team that if you went and asked probably 30 collectors, maybe one or two would know that team existed.
Exactly. And that's what's great about our hobby. It's like no matter what you collect, it can be unique, it can be wanted. And that's what I tell all the younger collectors as well. Don't worry about trying to collect high-end stuff. Collect what you like, because whatever you like, that's what's important. I mean, I have a lot of younger collectors reach out to me. Is like, are you okay with me displaying this? Yeah, bring whatever you want. Whatever you want, that's what is, you collect that. So people are going to like it. I have a lot of the younger collectors that come to my expo that have never displayed before, and they're nervous. So I tell them just put whatever you want on the table. People are going to love it. It's hockey. It's game worn. You have unique stuff that no one else has. So that's how it all started. My first expo was my gray. I don't know how many years ago, but I was totally underprepared. I brought way too many jerseys. I had no stands. I had these plastic things that Stu from my grade gave me to use. Everything kept falling over all day. I was embarrassed. And everybody's like, wow, it was a great table. I'm like, no, it's not. It was horrible. So I learned from there. And I've just learned from watching other people during the years. I learned from going to other expos. Frank Rady, who runs Nova, is phenomenal. I've learned so much from Frank, going to My Gray, etc., Hershey Expo. Every expo you go to, you pick up different things, pick up different ways people display things, and you just learn from there. You learn how to make things better each time you display.
And to follow up on one of your points, and it's an invaluable one, honestly, is like you said, it doesn't matter if it's $1 million jersey or $100 jersey. You have a passion for whatever that is. Show it off, because somebody may find it interesting in, okay, that team did a repair like this, or the story behind it is whatever. But yeah, it doesn't have to be a star guy or a guy that nobody else in the room has heard of. You can share that story, and now you pass it on to somebody else, and they may, let's say a jersey of that same person pops up down the road that you don't see. They may reach back out to you, go, oh, hey, I just came across this, wanted to make sure you're aware of it. But yeah, it don't ever be embarrassed that you collect a no-name guy or all your stuff is preseason or whatever. We don't care. You're in the hobby, you're having fun, share that stuff, because nobody's going to make fun of you that you don't have guys that everybody in the room knows. It's still a game-worn hockey jersey. You're in this. You bought your first one last week, or you've been doing this for 50 years. We're all in the same group, and we want to continue to grow this and make sure that everybody enjoys it.
Yeah, it's like going to the gym. You're in the gym. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter what you look like. You're in the gym. So, I mean, if you have a game-worn jersey, you're in the gym. And it's like you can't be intimidated by some of these other collectors. Obviously, people make more money than you. People have more things, but we're all in this together, and it's just a very close knit. 99% of the people are friendly that come to the expos. We have great conversations. Most people like bourbon or Dr. Pepper. So it's all good. It's all good. It's just a fun environment to be around.
And I mean, I know we harp on that so much, but we have to, because we want to make sure people understand how this works, what this is. So as new people find the podcast, or new people talk to other collectors, that we want to be welcoming, because as I've said before, we're all getting older. It's only so long we can have this before the next group takes it over. And we want the memories of us, the memories of this history, the stories of the jerseys to continue and not just fade away.
Yeah, I'm the biggest promoter of everything. So I'm nonstop posting on social media. People probably get sick of me when it gets close to the expo. I'll be starting a countdown probably soon to the next one. Once I have a date, I'll put like 3 jerseys together to make sure it adds up to the right number. But it's just the way it is. I try to promote what we do. It's a great group of people that we deal with. And I was just out in California and met with Paul. It was great meeting him and hanging out. That's what we do. When we're in the area, look up who's around. Yeah. And you go out and you meet the person, and they've been talking to online for years. We're one of the few hobbies, and I've said that over and over again, that you'll talk to someone who's in another country and send them thousands of dollars that you never even met the person, and it's okay. We're all good. We just accept it. So
yeah,
it's just a great group of people that we deal with.
So let's go back and wind the clock back a whole lot. What got you started in the hobby? How long ago was that?
So I've always been a hockey fan. Since the Flyers won the cup, which is no one remembers.
I was gonna say, wait, they did?
Yeah, we did a long time ago. It's like up over here. That's the second cup. Yeah, so it's been a long time. So I've been always a Flyers fan. I was a Flyers AHL team season ticket holder for a while, Philadelphia Phantoms, which is where I got into the game worn part. So they used to have all kind of specialty auctions after the games. And one year I bought one jersey. It was a player, Ryan Parent, who was supposed to be a really great defenseman, didn't really pan out. Way overpaid for it at the time. I thought I did anyway. It was $750. That was my first one. Bought a second one at another auction. Bought a third one at another auction. And then just started getting addicted from there. Then I discovered someone, I can't remember his name, begins with R, but I bought one of his jerseys. Wade's laughing. So I started getting into that, started to really be focused on players. And it was all snowball from there. But I don't have my first jersey ever bought. It's way gone, but.
And I mean, a lot of people, and myself included, started with minor level jerseys. In my case, was junior team here in town, and learned that that's what it is. Because even when I went to St. Louis games, yeah, I went in the store. I didn't know that a lot of those were game worn and that. And it's crazy once you fall into that. Yeah, especially in those minor levels, overpaying because fans, you're closer to the players than you are at the NHL level, and you always seem to overpay. Even currently in the AHL and East Coast jerseys and down. If you weren't collecting jerseys, what do you think you'd be collecting?
Bourbon.
Good answer.
Well, I do that too. So I can't even. It's like in sync.
You just have more money for bourbon, maybe.
It's kind of it's balancing right now.
Your favorite jersey in your collection?
Wow. Give you top three.
I'm all right with that. Go for it.
So, my Claude Giroux Gatineau Olympics jersey. It's probably the heaviest jersey I have. It's crazy heavy, the jersey. My Mark Recchi Kamloops Blazers jersey. Incredible wear. It's just a amazing jersey. The actually when I was at Migrey Expo 2 years ago, I think one of the guys from the Hall of Fame came over. He's like, "We have the blue one. Do you want to donate the white one?" I'm like, "No." So
how quickly did it take you to say no?
As quick as he stopped talking. Third's kind of hard. I mean, it's like I have so many favorite jerseys. It's not all Recchi. It's like things that mean a lot. I really don't know about the third.
That's all right.
That's hard, but.
So if you could own any jersey, what one would you get?
That's simple. Bernie Perron game worn jersey. Bernie Perron is my favorite player of all time. I have 3 of his alumni jerseys, but I don't have any game worn as of yet.
Do they pop up ever?
They do. They do, just not in the price range I have at that time.
Perfect.
I get it. Paul, do you have some questions?
Well, you brought up bourbon, and I know you guys do the Friday night trade show before the expo. How did that go this year? Were there a lot of transactions, or was it just more bourbon drinking and trying to remember the next morning?
So, yeah, we remember a lot. Each Friday night before the expo, we have a trade party, basically, sponsored by Mike Hogan from Ice Violence. Great turnout all the time. Mike, has probably 250, 300 jerseys that he has, a lot of reduced prices. A lot of collectors come out and they bring a ton of jerseys that they have. Usually Mike rents a little conference room in a hotel that we have. He buys pizza. Everybody brings bourbon. It's a great event. A lot of trades going on. I picked up a jersey this year from Hunter Lane, my 34th recce, which was great. But it's just a great time looking at jerseys, just sitting around, BSing with everybody, eating, drinking, having fun. One thing I do at my expo is prior to that event, I have a bourbon tasting, or I should say alcohol tasting, because there's things more than bourbon there. At a local liquor store that a friend of mine runs called Tomar's liquor store in South Jersey area. So he puts out like basically 50 bottles of different things that you can taste. It's all free. Whoever wants to come, he puts in food and stuff. We just hang out for like 2 hours, just BS, talk about hockey, talk about bourbon. It's just a great time. It's a really just a wonderful weekend for everybody. People come in early, they attend the tasting earlier at Tomar's, go to Mike Hogan's event. We got probably done there at 11 or 12 midnight. Expo setup started at 8 a.m. So we didn't have much time to recover. And then it all just snowballed from there. It was just a great event. And, we had, and one thing I didn't touch on is like the door prizes that we have each year. So every year, everybody donates door prizes. I sell tickets to benefit the Warriors as well. Had some amazing donations this year. We had a Jury Cheevers game used stick. I mean, that was a crazy door prize that Hunter Lane donated. I had Migray donated a bunch of sticks. I had a Claude Giroux game used stick. Patrick Kane Patrick Kane signed jersey. Jersey signed by the Hanson brothers. It's just a great event that everybody contributes to. Everybody makes it a great event. It's not just me. I need everybody to help me facilitate this great event for the benefit of the Warriors.
That is so awesome, and it's cool to come together and not just be one person or a few people put this together. That it is really hobby as a whole. Wade, do you have some questions?
Man, I mean, I've always heard just amazing things about your event, and hats off to you for what you do with the Warriors. I think it's incredible. Definitely something I want to talk to you about later, about trying to incorporate some of that. And I'm definitely going to work on doing something like that for mine, because I think it's just a wonderful project that you're doing there, and good for you.
Appreciate it.
How many recce jerseys do you have?
34.
That's pretty incredible. I mean,
it's not like Frank Rady. Incredible. Yeah.
No, I mean, here the dedication to that is fantastic. I mean, I've seen your display at the Nova, and you just do such a great job. I loved the answer. The one thing I really enjoyed hearing, you talked about young collectors and talking about, them asking you. And I think the biggest thing, that all of us should tell young collectors is collect what you like. Otherwise it's just stuff. And I think you kind of, you hit the nail right on the head there. And that's fantastic, because you got to like the stuff. Otherwise it's just stuff.
So my son just walked in, who's going to inherit my collection eventually. So come here, come around here. So it's my son, George.
Hi.
Hey, George.
He's a big help at my expo. He just went to the Flyers game tonight. Did they win?
Yeah, they won 5-4.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So, but okay, go away.
Okay. I mean, I have some jerseys of my own too.
Yeah, you have a couple. I'm trying
Yeah,
to get.
you got 34 Mark Recchi jerseys coming.
I know.
So he's been a big help. So he's been a big.
Awesome.
He's actually getting into it. He has probably 3 or 4 of his own game worn jerseys that he's collected. So he's getting into it, and he's been getting more involved. So
that's awesome.
Well, it sounds like he has a good teacher too.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
I think the one answer
he listens to everybody else besides me.
I want to I want to throw out something. Nobody asked me what my top 3 jerseys are, and I don't want to answer that, but I do want to throw out that I think the answer for number 3 should always be the next one, because you didn't really answer your third, and I think for all of us, I think that's kind of the answer. You're like, your favorite one is always the next one you're going to get that you're going to fall in love with, and you're going to add to the collection and enjoy.
So if that's the case, then my number 3 is my Mark Recchi Carolina Hurricanes jersey, which I haven't found yet. That's the only team I haven't found yet.
Well, I wish you luck on that. And like I said, I wanted to just congratulate you on a fantastic event. And I know we talked before the show a couple of days ago. I'll be in attendance next year. Looking forward to coming out.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, get out to Expo. And if you're in a location where there's nothing close and you don't have that ability to travel, do like George did, start your own. Doesn't have to be a huge room full of people. It can be the back room of a bar. It can be at somebody's house. It doesn't have to start out as this massive event. If it does, congratulations to you, because you're one hell of a planner. But it doesn't have to be. It's just pull people together. It's funny. I'm in a whole separate group for the company I wear the crazy looking shirts of, and the number of links I've made in Illinois, even close to me, are crazy. And now we're planning on getting together for just going to a distillery or a brewery and have beers and talk about our shirts and that kind of stuff, or just life in general. But it's just put it out there, because you'll be surprised how close other people may be to you or want to travel to you to get together and do this. Because doing this podcast on Zoom or messaging people and sending pictures is phenomenal, but it's not face to face. Face to face is the best when you can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You get to meet all the different collectors. Like I said, when I was out, it was great meeting Paul when I was just out in California. There's nothing like it. You get face to face. Someone like Milt Byron, the knowledge that he has there, or Derek Whitwer. Like, all these guys have so much knowledge. Just if you see their posts online, you see all the different things they collect. Just to meet them in person, absorbing their knowledge. That's what our hobby is.
Yeah, I concur.
And you made so many phenomenal points, and really what you're doing and how you're doing it's phenomenal. Is like I said, Wade and I had a just out of the blue conversation with a guy while we were waiting to do the Blues equipment sale this summer. Guy had come to the equipment sale just to get some gear to play with. Asked him what he was doing, and he talked about the Warriors. One of my friends, of course, the jersey over my shoulder, Mike McKenna's had been one of the coaches helping those guys out over the years. And it was awesome just to hear what the guy went through as a veteran and his injuries, and now him playing hockey and getting that camaraderie back. And it was so awesome to meet him. And it's great to see that the Philadelphia Flyers Warriors are doing well, and you're helping them out the way you are.
Yeah, it's just a great group. All the different Warrior groups, like some of the teams sponsor the Warriors. I mean, I know the Devils do, the Blues do. It's just a great group of guys. They're so appreciative of what we do. Whatever we can do to benefit them is just a positive thing to do, and we got to keep doing it. I mean, that's why I keep doing the same thing with the expo. just trying to give as much as we can to them, and they truly appreciate it.
No, it's incredible.
Anything else, George, before we wrap up tonight? It's awesome to hear again, catch you right after the expo's winding down. I know you're probably sounds like you took a quick breath because you're already setting a date and working on stuff for next year, never ending. But I know it's probably nice that when the tables get cleared and you're the last out of the room, just take a quick breath and know that you had another fantastic expo.
No, it's just I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm always nervous till it gets over with, and then I can't wait to the next one. It's just get to an expo if you've never been to one. I mean, that's all I can say is, no matter how small it is, doesn't matter. From the smallest to the largest, there's a bunch of great expos coming up. The St. Louis one, Hershey's coming up in a little bit. The World Expo, all of them. Just get to one, see all these different jerseys. Just an amazing thing, and no matter what the stage of your collection is, just try to get out there, talk to collectors. That's the main thing. It's not even getting to the expos. Talk to the other collectors. Meet the people that you talk to on Facebook. That's where the true value is. Meeting different people that you've never actually physically met before. Paul and I have been talking forever, and it was great to actually meet him in person. Wade, I met last year at Nova. It's just great to meet people in person. The interaction you have, camaraderie. We're all in it for the same thing. It's just we have the most amazing hobby in the world.
I don't think any of us disagree with that. And to go back to another thing we mentioned earlier is if you're traveling for work or whatever, and you're in another city, post it in the collectors groups or somewhere saying, hey, I'm going to be in this town for work or whatever. I got a couple days. Any collectors want to get together, have dinner, whatever. Don't have to bring jerseys. Just get together and catch up in person.
Exactly. And that's why, when I was out in California, I was looking up to see who I was near. I saw I was near Paul, so I reached out to Paul. Unfortunately, Mitch couldn't come up.
That's typical.
Exactly. I can drink my face off without Mitch around. But,
speaking of sponsors,
yes. Speaking of, please make sure you do reach out to the man, the myth, the legend.
I'll add Francis James Whiskey as the sponsor for this episode, actually. But but it just Mitch. Mitch is great. I wish he could have came up when I was out there with Paul. But that's what you have to do when you're in the neighborhood. Knock on the door. See who's around. Talk to them. It's just great camaraderie. Whether you meet at a bar, a restaurant, and like you said, you don't have to bring a jersey. Just I've met plenty of times with people that have come up different areas in the Philadelphia area. Bill Lyons from Florida has come up, and we've met, just had drinks, dinner, etc. Talked about hockey. It's just great. It's just a great time.
Paul, any thoughts from you before we wrap this up?
No, just looking forward. Well, I think I'm looking forward to the season starting tomorrow, Friday, when this was published. It's so strange with the two European games, Friday, Saturday, and then everyone else. Well, not everyone, but the league really starting on Tuesday. So it's great to have those two early games. What's terrible about it is all of us who play fantasy hockey, we have to be cap compliant for, the first game. So, it pushes everything we thought. I thought we had more time, and I just realized a few days ago, it starts tomorrow. And so some of us are scrambling with our lineups and dealing with that. But, first world problems.
And it seems like we just talked about how the season ended, and man, it's not going to be long and now we're here.
Yeah.
And we're excited to say I made it to Blues Blackhawks preseason game over the weekend. And again, it's preseason. Watch some of those guys try and make the team. It's nice to get views of some of the young guys, but get fired up for hockey. I mean, I was in a hockey jersey and shorts. I love that. Love that stuff. And I know you'll be in that for a while in San Jose, Paul. Wade, same with you. And George, hopefully you as well out there. It doesn't get too cold on the East Coast. Wade, final thoughts from you.
No, man, great show. Great to have George on. Just that countdown to hockey on the big page is always fun. I think we had day one. We had one today, so it's great. I'm just ready for hockey season. Excited to see the new stuff on the ice. Excited to another hockey season and more great collecting.
George, anything else?
No, this has been great. I really appreciate you guys having me on. Anytime you want to have me on again, I'd be happy to join. This was like really good interaction. You guys are very knowledgeable, except for Wade. But
Ouch.
Ouch. Ouch.
I had to. But no, this has been a great time. And not even like just promoting the expo, just talking hockey. Anytime I can talk hockey with anybody, it's just a great time. Bourbon extra. So I
guess I'm not pulling that Recce Carolina jersey out of the closet for you. Let's stay there for a little while.
If it was in there, I would have already known about it, Wade. So. But I appreciate you guys having me on. It's been an honor, and if you guys need me again, I'm available.
Hey, you are definitely welcome anytime. Episode 61 in the books. Like I say, be back next week with another fun episode, another great guest. Really, really excited for the season. Excited to see what all of our teams bring. I say Celebrini's already out for the Sharks. Hopefully not too long. But again, it's another puck drop to another great season. And regardless of how our teams do, it's fun to watch this. It'll be fun to watch these Fanatics jerseys. I say it was weird being at the game Saturday and seeing that Fanatics flag on the back. I did, real quick before we get out of here, lay my hands on the Pro Authentics in the store. And I did find it interesting because I flipped one inside out and they had the same kind of tags that the current Adidas ones did and had the Born On sticker and things on those. I'm trying to remember if the older Authentics had those. I don't know that they did, but I don't touch authentic jerseys much anymore. So but I at least did look at them and it had the little Born On sticker that we always look on for the game jerseys. So that'll be interesting to compare once I can get a game jersey in front of one of us to see if that inside tagging setup is the same. But again, excited to watch that and a whole lot more. But hockey's here, gentlemen. We'll talk about that as we cover the game worn hobby, and we'll see you back next week.